Hey everyone, I'm here to give you the follow-up information on this preterm triplet case. After delivery, the mom reports that she pumped for the first time within 24 hours. A lactation consultant helped her out with this so that she knew how to use the pump properly. She said it was very helpful. The infants, when they went to the NICU, were placed on CPAP and tube feedings. She said that they lost minimal weight after birth and were all back to their birth weight by day 5 of life. The infants, while in the NICU, would receive bottles of the mother's pumped milk, and whatever they were not able to obtain through bottles was then given to them through the tube feedings. They did receive some donor milk at the very beginning. Sounds like it was very short-lived and only a minimal amount that they needed. The mom was on the schedule of pumping every 3 hours, and she would do a 5-hour block overnight. The breast milk that was given to the babies in the NICU was fortified, which is part of the protocol that I posted as well, that the breast milk should be fortified if the infants are less than 2,000 grams, which all of these babies were. The infants used pacifiers while they were in the NICU. It sounds like 2 of them were done with it once they left the NICU, and 1 decided to continue on until they were 4 months old. And breastfeeding was initiated for the first time within 2 to 3 weeks after the delivery. It sounded like they all kind of varied, but they fell somewhere in between that 2 to 3 week span. She said that lactation consultants were able to help her with that portion as well. She used a nipple shield with all 3 of them at the very beginning. She states that one of her daughter actually ended up using the nipple shield for the whole duration of their breastfeeding journey. And the tube feedings then continued for about 6 weeks after the birth. The babies were discharged at day 55, day 59, and day 60 of life. And once they were home, they stayed on the same schedule, breastfeeding every 3 hours with a 5-hour block at night. It doesn't sound like this mom ever really did much on-demand feeding, but instead kept a schedule, which I think can make life a little easier when you've got multiples at home. She often would breastfeed 2 infants at a time. She said lactation helped her out with figuring out positioning for this. And after the discharge, they were seeing a lactation consultant for an appointment every 2 weeks. While they had those appointments, they would do weighted feeds, and she also got helped on nipple shield sizing. She continued to do triple feeds once she was at home, where she would breastfeed the infants and give them a bottle of fortified breast milk, and then she would pump more. She said that they never really were very strong enough to get enough milk on their own, so they always ended up having a bottle of pumped milk after breastfeeding. At 4 months of age, she just couldn't quite keep up with the demand anymore, and all of the babies then started receiving 1 to 2 bottles of formula a day. At 5 months of age, I think mom just kind of got exhausted with the whole process of doing the triple feeds and completely switched over to exclusively pumping for these babies. At that point, the babies got 1 or 2 bottles of formula a day and the rest of pumped breast milk. One daughter was diagnosed with reflux and ended up getting put on medications for that. And another daughter has silent reflux, also was put on medication for that. And she also got a special formula fortifier that she was on for 3 months. One daughter is still in physical therapy right now for her hand. She has one hand that she doesn't use. Otherwise, all 3 of the babies are completely healthy, which is pretty miraculous with triplets being born at 28 weeks. The triplets are now 14 months old, and the mom is actually still pumping breast milk for them. She doesn't have plans to stop yet and doesn't quite know when she will end up stopping. I feel like the protocol that I posted really works well for kind of what these infants went through. The protocol really emphasizes the use of breast milk, human breast milk, and that's what was done for these triplets. And I also feel like the article on the breastfeeding rates for multiples really, these babies received pretty much all of those rights. A lot of them are regarding, there's 7 rights, and they're all kind of regarding education that they receive, evidence-based lactation support, and basically all the support that they can to lactate and breastfeed. One of the rights actually is that they have a minimal geographical distance and physical separation between the multiples and the mother. And the place that they were in the NICU at, actually, they were able to room in with them. So they were very, very close. So I feel like they followed kind of all of that for the care of these triplets. And in the end, I think, they kind of got the best that they could hope for. At least that's what the mom told me. I think she would have preferred to have breastfed a little bit longer, but she seems very pleased with what they were able to do. All right, bye.